Fresh rounds of protests are still making noise across the country after an ICE agent shot and killed a woman in Minneapolis on Wednesday. Public schools in that city are closed. Now the mayor is renewing his call for local involvement in the shooting investigation itself. And we do want to warn you here, there is some graphic video in this report. Lee Waldman is in Minneapolis with the latest. Lee, can you give us, I just heard somebody yelling behind you, can you give us a sense of the temperature of these protests today as opposed to in the past?
Christy, the people here in Minneapolis gathering in front of this memorial where Renee Good lost her life, they're uniting together, standing firm, but also sending a very clear and resounding message that they would like ICE out of their community. They're focusing on this and saying, say her name again and again, wanting the people to know who is at the center of all of this. This comes as we now have some new video from that ICE agent's perspective of the encounter that led up to this shooting. In it, you can see the ICE agent himself, Jonathan Ross, taking video of Renee Good's vehicle. She rolls down her window and says, "That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you," as he continues to circle her vehicle. There's an interaction with Miss Good's wife, Becca. And at one point, you see Renee turn her wheel away from the officer before going forward. And that's when those shots ring out.
While protesters in Minneapolis continue to face off with federal agents,
I will now invite us to take a minute of silence to honor the life of Renee Good.
A moment of silence and a declared day of unity, days after 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, a U.S. citizen, was shot and killed by an ICE agent while in the driver's seat of her car. Students, parents, and educators also reeling from a clash between ICE agents and community members outside of Roosevelt High School.
I was hit with a rubber bullet just by standing there on the Minneapolis Public Schools property as a bystander.
Some calling on ICE to stay away from school grounds.
As we saw on Wednesday, they do the exact opposite of making schools safe.
The Minneapolis mayor continuing to urge ICE to get out of his city and the state, and renewing his call for local involvement in the deadly shooting investigation.
Include local experts in the process. We got nothing to hide from here. All we want in Minneapolis is justice and the truth.
The precedent here is very simple. You have a federal law enforcement official engaging in federal law enforcement action. That's a federal issue. That guy is protected by absolute immunity.
Now, we've also heard from local leaders, local officials, the local attorney general's office. They're asking for anyone who has additional video, pictures, anything that surrounds this incident to submit it to them as a part of their investigation, even though they're being kept out of the official investigation with the FBI and DOJ.
All right, Lee, thank you so much for the updates there live. We appreciate it.